What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are having a shitcoin showdown today. I've been gone for the last day. I haven't made a video in about 24 hours now, and the reason for that is I had some friends over, and we had some drinks, and those drinks put me to sleep. so I've been absent. I'm sorry. I was unable to make videos today, unfortunately, as well, like earlier today, but here we are now. With that absence comes a little bit of a list of requests. So we're going to do those requests right now. There's going to be 4 different coins we're talking about, and I'm not going to put a timestamp in the description as to which coins I'm talking about when. I'm going to try to limit them to equivalent amount of times, so if you want to skip through the video and get to your specific one, or you want to watch the whole thing, whatever, they're going to be in about equal times. So just skip like a quarter or a half or to the end if you want to see whichever one. We're going to start off with ALGO, obviously, for Mr. Jordan Tyler. After that, we're going to move on to ORAI for my man Daniel Kosmala. And then for Salah Haddad, we are going to talk about Phantom. And then finish it up, we're going to wrap it all up with Solana for Lock On. I think it's Lock On. It's like Lock Con. Lock On. If I'm saying your name wrong, I'm sorry. And I am saying that this is a shitcoin showdown, okay? I will tell you which one I think is the most promising out of all of them, and I do not think that they are all shit. Just because I say they're shitcoins doesn't mean I think they're shit. It's nothing personal. It's just what we call it in the space, okay? If you guys like the video so far, leave a thumbs up. It's always appreciated. If you haven't subscribed, definitely hit that subscribe button. We do TA on this channel all the time. I say we. It's just me, man. It's just me. And obviously the community who does the requests and participates in the Discord. I mean, maybe it is a we. I don't know, man. I'm the one doing the TA, though. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Again, the order is going to be ALGO, ORAI, Phantom, and finishing it up with Solana. So without any further ado, let's do this. So looking at the monthly on ALGO, to my knowledge, this is the most historical data that I could find, right? And we're on Binance USDT. Love to see it. I love having Binance as kind of my go-to chart because you get the most volume on it. I feel like you're going to get more accurate reads on your volume profile. Looking at the RSI, you know, this month, if it closes green, we still have about 7 days left. But if this, and we're only up 8%. You know, this is crypto. A week to move down 8%, 9%. That's definitely possible. But we have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red months in a row. I kind of would have expected this one to be a red month, but I mean, hey man, we're close to the end of it. It might close green like this. Kind of got a double bottom of a formation here, right? And on the RSI, if you were to close green, this would look like a really nice bounce off the oversold zone. So what I would say is you want this month to close green. You definitely want this month to close green. Does that mean that you can't move lower? No, it doesn't. But it just means that you're likely toward the end of your down move. And even so, I think that you're probably toward the end of this down move. You are at a previous area of support. You went just below it, whatever, that's okay. This would, I think, constitute as a double bottom if we turn up from here or we just stop moving down, whatever. Looking at this thing on the weekly, the RSI is promoting bullish divergence. We do have bullish divergence presenting itself. No volume really. That's okay. You know, we're not really in a phase of movement that would constitute for that. Your weekly RSI does look weak throughout this whole range, though, right? You are doing kind of more of the same. I mean, here you had bullish divergence right here, and all you did was you had like this fake pump and then you dumped, and then another move that psyched you out. You had like a slightly higher high, but really all it was just a lower high in the grand scheme of things. So I would say that if you want this to be the real deal, you want this low to be the real thing and not experience what you experienced back here or like on this thing here, you want to break this trend line, which let's just say, I don't know, let's say it's like that. Yeah, maybe like that. Maybe I can draw it back further. Something like that. I don't know. I like that. I like that one the most. So if you can get above, really, above this weekly close here, close above about 11.5, 11.6 cents to be a little bit more refined, I would start to have faith that this thing has bottomed. I'm not there yet. I am promoting the idea that we've bottomed, but again, the weekly RSI looks like trash. We haven't shown strength in a while. The most strength that we've shown is a rejection off of the 50. That's just not good. So lower highs, lower lows. We do have bullish divergence presenting itself. We are at an area, you know, we literally just hit all-time lows and barely wicked below this low here. So we are at an area where we could bottom. It would have been nice to see a little bit more volume on this bottoming week, but you don't need it. You really don't need volume. I mean, like, if you get volume afterwards, I think that's really, that would be fine. So afterwards, as in when and if we break this descending line here. But to be fair, again, we can break this line and it'd still be bearish, right? You can break this line here, things will look good. You're not going down at the same pace. Maybe you break it, and then you come down and you find your bottom on this line and you bounce off it, but that bottom there would be, I mean, right there would be at that same low there. Maybe you go even lower, you know, maybe it takes its sweet time to get there. I'm just spitballing ideas here. But let's see, let's look at the daily. Maybe we can get a better idea of what to expect in the short term. Here we go. The daily looks good, you guys. The daily RSI actually looks really nice, very constructive. Higher highs, higher lows. You are refusing to get below the 50. You actually found support on it. You found support on a previous area that you rejected in your RSI. And you're not just getting up here and then coming down, getting up here and then coming. You're getting up here and you're staying. So that's actually very nice to see. Yeah, very encouraging for sure. Just basically keep climbing. Don't give it back. If you give it back, keep your higher lows going. You know, this doesn't look half bad, which wasn't my expectation. I honestly didn't know. I wouldn't have said that in the, like, without seeing the charts. I would have guessed that Algorand probably would have looked like a dumpster fire. But to be fair, it doesn't look half bad. We do have bearish divergence on the 4 hour. You can see it here: high here, lower high here, higher high there. That would imply that we have some downside. But to be fair, that might have already played out with this little drop here. From top to bottom, that little 3% drop. It's not like it has to be dramatic. It can be more dramatic than that for sure, but at this point in time, I would guess that you're probably going up. You're probably going to go up. You'll break these highs, and then from there, we can talk about getting above these highs here. Again, I think it'd be very critical to close above this day here, above about 11. I said 11.6, but I think above 11.7 cents would be nice. If you can break out of this descending high structure, that would be really key. And you'd be above the purple line, which would be nice as well. Getting above that purple line would definitely be significant. Let's see, have you done that at all? Yeah, you did it here one day and then came out of it. And then another day you stayed above it, but you didn't get any continuation, and you still formed a lower high. So if you can, I mean, if you can get above this purple line and form a higher high and stay above it and act differently than you did here, that would be encouraging. I guess here you did kind of disrespect it, didn't you? Maybe you're not. Maybe you don't respect this purple line too much. Maybe I shouldn't put too much weight on it. I mean, you show a little bit of respect here and there. I don't know. We're gonna nix the purple line and just say. Break above, get a break, not just a move, but a break above 11.7 cents, and then we can talk about some more upside. I do think it looks good for continuation upwards. I don't think that it's going to go lower here, which is rare because I do think that a lot of cryptos look like they want to go lower. Yeah. So that's Algorand, man. How does it do in its bull run? How does it do in this bull cycle, this coming cycle? I don't know. I bet it does well. I don't know if it reaches new all-time highs. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. This was one of those coins that I feel like had a lot of hype to it, and hype is good. But if you're not, you know, it's good for a cycle. But if you're not doing anything new, or there's not anything to like get excited about for the next cycle, other than the same old promises that you had, you know, you might not see new all-time highs. And from here, let's see, an all-time high would take you. That'd be about like a 28, 29x. Which wouldn't be bad, but if you were to break all-time highs, I would think you'd at least hit this 1272 up at about $8 there, promoting a 75, almost a 76x, with the potential to go higher. Let's see what this thing's ranking on its market cap evaluation before we sign off on this. Algorand, you are at a 792 million. Yeah. You could do 100x with Algorand from the current price. That's absolutely possible. So seeing this 1272 less than 100x there, that would be a high market cap. Don't get me wrong, and it'd be a higher one than this thing's ever seen. But that's definitely possible. We've seen cryptos achieve those market cap levels before. So something like that is possible by the end of this bull market. But it really depends how we act. I think with this little level here, with the 618 to 69, the sweet spot on the weekly purple line kind of area. you know, this will probably come down as the weeks develop, so it might not be in the same area. But I do think the 75 to a dollar, 75 cent to a dollar range will be kind of critical. You know, how we interact with that is going to be critical to determine if we're going to go higher or not. But that's further down the line. So right now, all I have to say for Algorand is I think it goes up. I think it looks good. Genuinely, you know, if you want to prove me wrong on that, this thing wants to go down. The only thing that has me hesitant is I feel like a lot of cryptos look like they want to go down. But if you want to prove me wrong, you want to go down. Don't get above these lows here where you found support. Keep it as resistance as you are now. If you can't get above this, and you do actually end up getting lower daily closes, like something that's lower than about 9.7 cents there. Yeah, if you close below 9.7 cents, it might be on to the downside. This idea of going up first might be wrong, and then we go back to the original idea that this might not have double bottomed and it might go lower. If it were to go lower, where would it go? Let's just see here. Let's just see. I don't know, man. Maybe to the 2272 here at about 7 cents, maybe even down below 6 cents, something like that's possible. Let's get a different fib and see. We'll leave that one there for now. Let's see, low to high here. That's the high. 2272 support here, man. Your 2618 is right here with this 2618, so I do think somewhere around 6 cents is possible. Let's see, from bottom to top here. Your 1272 is a little bit lower. I don't think you play off of this one. So yeah, I would say somewhere around maybe like 6 to 7 cents is where you would bottom if you go lower from here. But at the moment, I would say I'm giving it to the bulls. I think that if you can break this descending high structure, that would be really encouraging to see. But that's all I got for Algorand. So moving on, we're going to talk about ORAI, or ORAI chain token, I think is what it is. USD. Yeah, USDT on KuCoin. I'm fine with using KuCoin. Look at this, man. That's nice. It's a nice kind of structure, right? You've got this nice like valley here, kind of setting up for like a W overall, right? Something like that. I mean, maybe it'd be like this whole thing. It almost looks like an inverse head and shoulders, but I wouldn't call it that. I really wouldn't call it that, because this shoulder's way lopsided, man. If this is an inverse head and shoulders, it's ugly. The volume's all wrong. I don't think so. But I do think, just looking at this from a first glance, it does look like it's bottomed. But let's give it a little bit more of an honest look there. Yeah, man, bouncing off of your oversold zone like this. You could go lower from here. It is possible. You could actually like get to your oversold zone or get into it and bounce off that area. We'll see. We'll see. We'll do a little bit more in depth. Yeah, because you are still finding a lower high right now, and it's kind of right in this range right here, right? High, lower high, yeah. It depends, man. If you can get above this line, kind of like Algorand, if you can get above this line, things will be different. But let's just see what kind of things we're working with on the fib here. Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe you do go a little bit higher up to this line at about $2.38, something like that. Maybe a little bit higher even. You can wick above this line and still not promote significant growth to the upside. If you wick above it but you close below it, you could in fact make a lower low than this. I wonder what you're at on this low to high here. You bounced right off the 786, man. I don't know. You literally bounced right off it. Okay, so you're below your 618, where you found support before. Look at this. This is kind of important. This is something I've noticed with fib scales. Okay, you guys. In case you're new to fibs, let me just teach you something here. And take it with a grain of salt. Not everything's guaranteed. Anything can happen at any time. But we got our first test here. We rejected it. We came up and found support. We found resistance at the 382, found support on the 618, found resistance there, came back down. Even though we didn't touch the 618, we found support on this area again, and then we came down, we found support on it again. It kind of took like, I wouldn't say 2 attempts or 3 attempts. It took a little bit more than 3 attempts to break through this, right? We got in this area and we just didn't want to break it, but eventually we did, and then we found it as resistance. Now, finding it as resistance is not a good thing, but holding it as support for so long, to me, would indicate that you're not going to see extensions. You will find support at the 786 or the 886 with this kind of look. Now, if you went from this one and, oops, come on now. if you went from this one up and then you broke down, you know, without all this support, you just went right down below it, and then you came up and found resistance, and then you went down lower, I would think that your odds of seeing these extensions would be a lot higher than what they are now. And I know I'm speaking in hindsight, but if you've been watching the channel, if you guys have been following the channel for a while, you know that that's not something I've just made up. I've said that time and time and time again. It is an area. It seems significant because you do actually have kind of resistance zone right here, right? You found resistance here, resistance there, support, support. So this area here, it kind of lines up with this line too, man. Obviously not, but like it's more or less in the same area. I would say very key level to get above on the weekly for a closing basis would be this area here, would be right there at about $2.26. Maybe even because it's more relative over here, maybe this line here actually. Which would be right on the 618. So yeah, above $2.41. If you can close a week above $2.41, I feel confident in saying that that is the low, that this is the low here, and that you are forming a higher low, and you'll be continuing upwards from here. Probably make a move up to this 382 or something like that. Let's give it a little bit more of an in-depth look though on the daily. Nice little peak in volume there. Could mean that you're done going up. I mean, man, you just went straight up for a while there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days in a row. Odd numbers, man. Whenever you turn around on odd numbers, sometimes that happens, and that can be a key to signal that we are going lower from here. You are turning around at a point that it would make sense if you were to maintain this downtrend. It would make sense. So really what you want to do is just not form a lower low. And if you do go down from here, maybe you go down immediately, like in the more immediate term. But let's see, is that, yeah, that's lower. If you do go down, you'd want to hold this $1.73 to $1.78 area, somewhere in this like little range. You can go a little bit below it, you can wick below it, but just like you don't want to close below it, especially on a weekly basis. I think, you know, this here, yeah, that low daily, I'm going to take this away now, but you can see how it lines up very well with that 6-9 area. This low daily close, this high daily close here, it kind of lines up. You even wicked off it here. I wouldn't, if you go below this line, you can wick below it, but maybe not too much. If you go too much below this line, especially if you close below it, I would think that you are going to form a new low. And that's not too helpful for today because, you know, it does, that's more than, like that's like a 20% drop, right? Something like that, 15% drop from here. But let's see, the daily, you are overbought. You do have hidden bearish divergence, to be fair. If you can stay in this overbought zone, the longer the better, honestly. But it doesn't look like you like to stay in the overbought zone for too long. Definitely a strong read. You just went straight up though, man. I don't know. You probably come down and consolidate to some degree. It would be really nice, you know, again, if you held that white line there, the 618 to 69 area. But if you can find support, come on now. Okay, man. Let's get this. There we go. If you can find support at the $1.94 area, and you can go a little bit below it, you can wick below it, that's fine. But if you can close at this line or above this line after wicking below it or at it, that would look really good for like more immediate continuation, in my opinion. You might not even go that low, but that's, I tend to look for the 382. It's not as common that you see a bounce off the 236, though you can. I would more expect to see a bounce off of this 382 area, but you might not even hit that. You know, you have support coming in right here. You could find support on it again. You could be forming actually on the shorter term time frame. This could be like an inverted head and shoulders with like a slanted head and shoulders, right? I don't know, something like this. Like that there, and you've got your left shoulder, head, right shoulder. That's a very big head though, and the volume profile is kind of wrong, but I don't know. Kind of looks bullish, but it can look bearish really quickly. You know, I would say, again, closing below that 618 would be detrimental to the cause of this thing going up higher. So hold above $1.78, $1.34, $1.33 area, $1.78, $1.73 area. Hold above that and we're good. Really, if you can hold above this $1.94 area, that'd be nice for some immediate continuation upward, especially if you can just break these highs. If you can break this overall descending structure that you have, that'll be a clear sign in itself. But and what you'd need to do that really would be to get above this high here, above $2.46. You're at $2.06 now. So if you can get above that, that'd be great to see. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this one, man. I really don't know how to feel about this one. With Algorand, I'm a little bit more confident that it continues upward, but this one, it could go down from here. And it could go down to new lows. It really could. Hard to say. This 4-hour RSI looks very strong. Very, very strong. Just keep showing strength, man. Try not to show weakness. That's basically it. Yeah, don't get below this purple line on your 4-hour. That's right at that like 6-9 area that I was talking about. So you really want to hold this zone as support. No, not that zone. I'm sorry. This zone here. Yeah, you want to hold that zone as support right there. That would be very, very crucial. You might not even go down there, but if you can hold this overall trend up like this, you know, that'll look good too. But that does leave room to come down immediately. So, and you don't have bearish divergence, do you? You don't have bearish divergence. I don't know, man. I really don't know how to feel about this thing. I think it could go down a little bit in the more immediate terms, but maybe it has found its low. Maybe it comes down and it finds a higher low. I don't know, something like that. It is totally possible that you're still in your downtrend. I really don't know how to feel about this one. I'm sorry I can't be a little bit more clear for you there. The fact that you bounce off the 786 is nice. It definitely is nice. Okay, let's go back to that actually. If you can get above $2.41, that's the ticket right there, man. Get above your 618. Get above it. If you can do that, I feel very confident in saying that that's a low. But if you can't, if you come back up here and you find resistance, then you come back down, likely, in my opinion, you probably will see prices move down to the 886. This fib, I think, might be my saving grace here for a little bit of a heading. That's what I would think. I don't think you're going to see extensions. I personally don't think that you're going to see extensions, but the option to go down this low is definitely there. But if you can break above that 618, that'll go away. That'll go away real quickly. And when I say break above it, I mean a break. You got to close a weekly above it, okay? Not just wick above it. And a day might be enough, but I would really like to see a week to close above it. And then from there, it's basically on to the 382, this previous area where you found support. You know, you might test it as resistance at first, but come back down, find support on your 618, and then turn up from there. I don't know. That's really all I have to say on ORAI. If I was to guess, you know, like where the high could go from here, like where its new all-time highs would be, let's look at its market cap. Let's just see here. ORAI. $2.09. It has a $26 million market cap. This thing, it could 100x. It could do multi-100x for sure. It might not, you know. It just depends on how it performs in the coming bull market, how much traction it gains. Came out right in the middle of the bear market. Well, I guess not. I guess it came out at the very end of the bull market, didn't it? Because the bear market started here, but this thing's just had a bear market its whole existence. So I don't know. Very nice volume to see coming off of the lows for sure. Just another lower high though. I really don't know how to feel about this thing, man. So I'm gonna keep it simple. I don't know how high this thing could go. I would say that a 100x, which from this price it's at $2, that would put it all the way at $200, is possible. It definitely is possible, but you know, I don't know enough about it to make that kind of call confidently. I mean, this 1272 up here at 337, even up to 1688, both of those numbers are possibilities by the end of this bull market. It really could hit those numbers, do multi-100x kind of stuff. But I don't know. I really don't know. You know, it might not see new all-time highs. It's hard to say. I don't know enough about this thing, and it doesn't have enough historical data for me to make that kind of call comfortably. I do like this as a low. I do like this as a low, but that can change. That definitely can change. So I'm just going to finish it with kind of the same old, right? If you can close above $2.41, good. If you find resistance on it and you come back down below it, especially below this like $2 area after finding resistance, bad. Probably down to about $1.15, $1.20, somewhere around there. And then from there we can talk about going up. But until then, you know, you got some proving to do. And you're not too far away from proving it, but just get above that area if you want to continue. Again, if not, you already know what to look for to the downside. So that's all I got for ROAI. Before I spin my wheels some more, let's talk about Phantom, FTM, right? USD. Yeah, that's Phantom USDT maybe on Binance. Yeah, that's got enough historical data. I mean, it's still a new chart. You know, it's back in 2019. That's still a pretty new chart, but you can see Phantom had a hell of a run, man. I remember everybody was talking about this thing. It was one of the coins that I definitely missed out on. I didn't invest in it, but it had a, let's see, is that a 2000x, man? I think that's a 2000x. That's like $100 if you bought the low and you sold the top, you know, would have made you $200,000. If that, I'm pretty sure that's a 2000x. Yeah, because you have your 10x would have been there, right? And then you have your 100x there. That's a 1000x, man. That's 2040. That's a 2049x is what that is. Anyways, looking at this thing from low to top, you are finding support on your 382 area, but you might be closing below it. We are on the monthly here, so you know things are kind of wonky. The RSI itself doesn't look bad. It doesn't look good, like whatever. It is in the weaker areas. You technically are in the bearish area of control, but so what? You bottomed at these areas before, so that's really not a bad thing. The 382 closing below it, I guess, wouldn't be a good sign. That probably would mean that you'd go down. You know, I think I was looking at this thing earlier actually, and I was having a hard time deciding where it would bottom. You know, because it is possible. It is possible, and I said this yesterday in my video that triple bottoms are not like likely, like they're not common at all, but this could be getting set up for some kind of like a triple bottom, but it wouldn't be a triple bottom, would be, because this wasn't a bottom, this was a low on your way up. Here was your bottom of the move. You might be forming a double bottom. You know, I don't know if I'd feel comfortable calling it I mean, to a degree, you're hitting this line once, twice, thrice. Maybe you do find support in this area, but maybe you go a little bit lower first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months down so far. Let's look at the weekly. I just wish it had more. I don't know, man. I don't know. Weekly RSI looks weak right now. You are at the area that you actually bottomed out before. You're actually just a little bit above that. But you could go lower. You could go a lot lower. This is where some of your bigger moves could happen. To be fair, you have had relatively small moves, so a bigger move wouldn't be too dramatic, I think. Just maybe dramatic as of relative times. Maybe move down about 10 to 15%, something like that. Find support at this line. If you can find support in this area, it doesn't have to be on this line exactly. You know, it could be a little bit lower than this low. It could be back down to this low here. Maybe it's at instead of the wick of that low, maybe it's at the closing point of that low. You go slightly lower than this here. I guess that would be a triple bottom, right? You'd have one bottom here and then two and then three. On the monthly, it would be a double bottom, but I don't know. Something in me wants to say that this is going to break, you know, to the downside. You do have a head and shoulders pattern. You do. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder here, right? This shoulder went up a little bit higher, but this shoulder didn't break that, so I think that constitutes the structure. You have decreasing volume as you're going throughout this pattern, at which case this would be your neckline. So if you break this neckline on a closing basis, you know, I don't think you're going to get the measure move. I personally don't think that that's what's going to happen. Let's just see. That's a 95% move there. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I mean, it's possible. That would send you all the way down to about 85% of 1 cent in itself, somewhere around there, but below a penny. But I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen. Though I wouldn't be surprised if this broke and you did go lower. I kind of do think that it goes lower, personally. But just the the fib, the fib for this thing, I don't know if I like the 618 as the bottom or like the 618 to 69. I mean, it makes sense price range wise, but the point, I just feel like it won't go that low. Maybe it will. I don't know. I'm having a hard time with this one too, man. I would think that it goes down to about 7.8 cents, somewhere around there. Let's see if there's anything else that lines up with it. Let's see, bottom to top here. Come on now. Your 618, man, look at that. Beautiful. 1618 right there at the 0.5. Can you go a little bit below the 0.5? Sure. Can you find a low between the 0.5 and the 618? Sure, absolutely. Man, you know, you've got your high right here, this little like area of resistance. Maybe you find support on it. Maybe you find support on this area of resistance over here. Something I would say, I think Phantom goes around 4.5 cents to about 7.8 cents. That's my best guess from here. Looking at the weekly, it does look weak. It definitely does look weak. On the daily here, weak RSI as well. And see, this is what makes me think those other coins could go down too, man. Because like a big coin like Phantom, there's a lot of big coins out there that look bad, and there are coins that do better while other coins do worse. You know, it's possible. And like for the charts that they have, I would say they do look good, but the potential to go down is definitely there for the other two coins that I was talking about as well. But I will say out of the three that we've talked about, to me, this one does look the most bearish, at least for the immediate term. I don't think that it's, you know, going to be irrelevant or like remain like a shit coin forever. I mean, it'll always be a shit coin, right? But like I don't think that it's going to just go down forever. It will come back and have like a nice bull rally. But let's talk about this real quick. I don't know. Yeah, daily RSI just looks like shit, man. It really does. Doesn't look good at all. I do think you go lower. I think that you are forming a flat base here. You have descending highs. You're going to come down and break that. And you're probably going to go, again, somewhere between about 7.8 cents, I think is what I said, right? We're going to go all the way back 7.8 cents to maybe somewhere around like 4.8 cents, 4.7 cents. 4.7 to 7.8, that's a big range, but more than a 50% drop, I think, is what you have in store, man. I really do. This volume dying off like this, I think that there's just no interest at all in this thing. I didn't mean to draw it like that. I'm sorry. Let's see. I didn't even mean to draw this. But, you know, a 75% drop could be in store for this thing. A 70% drop, maybe it does go to that 7.8 area, and that's still from here, that's still a 58% drop. So definitely big moves, in my opinion, to the downside from here. Yeah. Looking at it again, let's see on the 4 hour maybe. 4 hour looks weak too, man. Looks weak. I think out of all of them, this is the most bearish chart, and it looks like it wants immediate continuation down. So let's talk about the positives. Let's talk about the bullish case scenarios, okay? So, and I don't mean from here. I mean from its low, wherever that low is. If and when this thing decides to turn around, let's say it does turn around at about 7.8 cents. Let's see what its market cap is right now. FTM. Not FTN, FTM. There we go. Market cap rocking at about 526 million. Nice, man. This thing could 100x. You definitely could. If you were to do a 100x, that'd be at a $52 billion market cap. Phantom definitely could do that, man. From here, a 100x from the current price would take us all the way up to about this 1.414 area, somewhere around like $19, $20, something like that. If we were to bottom at 7.8 cents, remember that's the overall from bottom to top here. That's the overall 0.5, the 50% fib range. It's 50% technically isn't a fib. It's just the halfway point of the range. A lot of people mark it off, you know. If that was the low, hypothetically speaking. And again, I like that as low because from bottom to top here, your 618, your 1618 is kind of right there. So you could wick below it. Maybe I'll put it right on that 1618 actually. You know, you could go up to $10, $10.07. You could go all the way up to $38. I know that that sounds crazy being at 18 cents now, but Phantom really could go all the way up to $38. It has that potential. It has that market cap availability, that space, that possibility. Like mathematically speaking, we've seen market caps that high before. So a $38 billion market cap, by the way, not 38 billion, I'm sorry, that would be a 210x. So that would put it at about a $100 billion market cap. That is high. Man, if Phantom lives up to the hype and it you know, succeeds in what it promises to fulfill, I think that it can do spectacular things. But maybe it doesn't see the 1618. Maybe it only goes to $10. It's at 18 cents now. That would still be phenomenal. And if it drops all the way down to this area that I'm projecting it to, which is at about, that would be at about 6.8 cents. If it does that, then a 1272 extension would give it a 142x. Let alone that up to the 1618 would be like a 500, almost a 600x, like a 550x. Maybe it doesn't go to the 1618, and maybe it does go above the 1272. You have all this price range in between. So I think by the end of the bull market, by the end of 2025, we're probably going to see a multi-100x for Phantom from its low to its high. But at the moment, I think it goes lower. And then from there we can talk. But again, where's it going to go? I think if I had to give it my best guess, somewhere around 6.8 cents. Potential to go lower, potential to not go as low, but I would say right around 6.8 cents. I feel pretty comfortable saying that. I wonder here. before we move on to Solana to wrap up this shitcoin showdown, and I'll tell you guys which one I like the most. Look at that, man. The 1272 of this overall range right down there at about 6.3 cents. Really close, man. Really close to that 1618. I like it. I like it. Anyways. Solana now. USD. Talking about it on Coinbase. Is that really the best? I don't know if that's the best. USD on Binance. Yeah, there we go. Let's see if they got the USDT. USDT. Yeah, that's fine. I think that's fine. We can do that. I like the vol. I don't know. Maybe we'll go over it real quick on an overall perspective. Is there more? Am I missing it? No, that's about it on the all-time history. So we'll start with this, and then we'll finish off with the USDT chart. Higher lows, higher highs, whatever. You know, I think Solana, for me, it's one of those coins. It kind of reminds me of like DOT, right? It had a lot of hype, and it had problems in like the height of its like hype. And people talk about it now that it's been like operating for however many days, however many months without a single glitch. But it's like it's been operating but without glitches. But how many people are using it? You know, what happens whenever people start utilizing it more? Whenever the hype is back and stuff like that, are you going to have problems again? Like having failures in this game, you guys, like that can be very detrimental if you don't fix it and like have like good what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Good PR, good representation. If you can't like continue to like build momentum like through hype, and also like prove that your project is not dog shit that's going to zero and it's trustworthy of having money in it, like big money. If you've got big money in this thing, man, and you can't withdraw your Solana because you can't send it from one address to another, or you can't trade it because like the blockchain is shut down, like that's not a good coin, man. And it's been around for a very small amount of time, right? It's been around since 2020, maybe a little bit before then. If we look at Solana now, I'm pretty sure it's got a multi-billion-dollar market cap. Yeah, it's got an $8 billion market cap. Just speaking from the heart, I don't think it deserves that. I personally don't. I think that it deserves less than that. Now, in the height of the bull market, could it go higher than that? Absolutely. But this might be one of those coins, guys, that was all hype one market. It did phenomenal, and just slowly it'll form a lower high, lower lows, and it'll just wither out over time into nothingness. I do think it'll have a good bull market, though. But is it done going up yet? Or is it done going down? Let's just see. This chart doesn't look half bad. You know, all the shit talking I was just doing a second ago aside, you are finding resistance at a previous area of support, sure, on your monthly, whatever. The monthly RSI, whatever, doesn't really matter. Weekly RSI looks productive, very productive. Look at this, you got a nice like ascending channel here on your weekly RSI. Love to see that, definitely love to see that. Higher lows, higher highs. You were bouncing right off the 40 area, man. That's beautiful. My nose itches, you guys. I'm not picking it. It's just itching. Yeah, man, I really do like the way this RSI looks. And, you know, kind of contrary to what a lot of coins look like, you know, most of them have this flat base with a descending structure. You actually have a flat top with an ascending structure. You're ascending into it. So you're rejecting it, sure, but your rejections are getting less dramatic, you know, as you're coming up here. So get above this line, man. Get above about $27 there and 12 cents. Get above that area. Get more high weekly closes. If you do that, man, I think Solana's probably good to about $62, and then maybe it finds resistance at this previous area of resistance. Maybe it finds resistance at this previous area of support, somewhere around like $75 to $78, something like that. But I like it. I think Solana, this might be, you know, again, all the shit talking I had in the beginning aside, this might be actually the most bullish looking chart in my opinion. It to me looks the most obvious that it wants to continue to go higher. Let's look at the daily here. Daily RSI looks good, man. Constructive. Very maybe. Let's see what we got here. You got a high there, a lower high. Arguably there is hidden bearish divergence, but arguably there's not. Get above this high, man. Just get above that high there. Get above it. Really get above this high at about $21.80. Get above that. You know, that would be nice to see. And then ultimately, of course, get above this white line there. You could be finding support at your 50 area. That'd be nice to see. Previous area that you found resistance. You found support kind of in this area before. I don't know. It would be nice. It'd be nice if it continued to go up here. That is a bearish engulfing candle. Let's bust out some fibs. Let's bust out some fibs. That's what we're going to do. Yeah. Close this here. So from top to bottom, finding resistance at your 382. And look at that, man. You're finding support on your 236. This really does look constructive. It really does. I would think, you know, so long as you stay above this 236 and you continue to go higher, if you come up to this 382, you're likely going to break it. And I would say you do go up to this sweet spot area right there, right around $69 to $89. That would just, that's beautiful. It's beautiful. I like it. I do like it. I think that it does go up. Let's see if there's anything else that lines up with that. You know, smaller fib scale, you're more likely to see deeper extensions. The 2272 is right there at the 1618, man. I like it. I like it. Yeah, man. Get above $22. Get above $22. I'm gonna be right back. I'm sorry, but I have to do something real quick. I have to make sure my daughter is okay because she is sleeping. And I think I just heard her cry. So I'll be back. This isn't something I normally do, but I gotta go do it. All right. She's fine. She's dead asleep. It was somebody else's baby, I guess, that was crying. I don't know. Looking at this thing, guys, I do think Solana wants to go up. Might have found a low here. It would make sense to me. Let's see. Let's look at from the low to top here. Yeah, man, look at that. You bottomed. You literally found. I'm going to delete all this noise here so that it looks a little bit cleaner. From nope, that's the wrong place to draw from. Sorry. I'm going to get it right this time, I promise. From low to high, you bounced right in the sweet spot. You closed at your 618. You literally bounced right in the sweet spot here. That's beautiful. Nice to see. Low to high there in your 382 area. Yeah, that's fine. I do like it, man. I think that it's going to go up from here. I do. I really do. Yeah. Yep. And again, where is it going to go? Probably around 69 to 89 cents. Probably around this area that you found support in before. You could go higher, you might not. But again, Solana has an $8 billion market cap. Okay? That doesn't leave a lot. Like, Solana's not going to do a 100x. If it was to do a 100x, that would be $800 billion in market cap. Ethereum achieved like 2/3 of that. Okay, Ethereum hasn't even done that. So I don't think this is a 100xable coin by any means. If it were to break all-time highs, which honestly would surprise me, but the way that this looks, even with the lack of volume, let's go. This is where we have to bust out the USDT chart. I guess you got some volume. Yeah, you got some volume. Nice, coming in on these lows. Sure, whatever, on the dump, but you want to see big volume on your dump. That tends to mark reversals, you know, so I don't know, man. I might be eating my words on what I was saying earlier. From top to bottom here, if you were to go up to $669, that's your first extension, what would that do to your market cap? Oh, come on, man. Yeah, that makes sense. 31x, you're at, well, maybe a little bit higher. That's like a 33x, almost a 34x. What's 8 times 30, anybody? Why can't I do this right now? I'm normally better than this. But why can't I do it? 8 times 3 is 24, so times 30 would be 240. 240 billion. A multi-$100 billion market cap for Solana. I don't know, man. Solana got a lot of hype, and there's talk of them, you know, still being productive and doing work. You know, I don't keep up too much with the fundamentals, but I do hear things, and it seems like it's still relevant. So a multi-$100 billion market cap, is this thing worthy of it, even though it's only been in existence for, oh, I got a mosquito. Got a mosquito. I don't know. Might just kill it. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. He landed. He's done. Yeah. Sorry about that, you guys, but I just took a life. I sent him on to the next one. You know what? I'm vegan, okay? And I do kill things, apparently. But I like to think of it as, like, you know, he's a little parasitic little thing. And I just sent him on to the next life. He'll be a lion now, or a cockatoo. I don't know. Something a little bit more glorious than a mosquito. But back to the main point. Is Solana deserving of a multi-$100 billion market cap? Again, I personally don't think so. But the charts suggest otherwise, and to hell with my opinions, man. I think that it is possible. Achieving this price at about $670 is possible. Now, the 1618, on the other hand, I think we've established that that's not possible. I do not think Solana is going to see a multi-$1,000 price. I don't even think it'll break $1,000. I think somewhere right around here, around 670, would be more than an accomplishment for something like this. So a multi-$100 billion market cap would definitely be a feat to achieve. I think it does it, man. I think it does do it. It's not some of the most growth that we've seen in crypto, but hey, a 33x, that's not bad, man. Especially from here, like, not bad. All right, so we have talked about Algorand. We have talked about ORAI. We have talked about Phantom and Solana. Shitcoin Showdown here on Saturday. Maybe it's Sunday, depending on where you're watching it from. Which one wins the showdown? Which one? You know, it depends. It depends. I think that probably the lowest market cap one, which I'm pretty sure is ORAI, would have the most potential for growth. But, and that, so in a sense, that could be the smartest decision. But the safest decision, the one that I would say probably wins the showdown, and I wouldn't have believed it in the beginning, but I'm saying it now, is Solana. I got to give it to Solana. So Solana, I give the green light for. A lot of them look good. Phantom's really the only one that looks bad for immediate continuation, but even then, Phantom, I think, has a multi-100x in its bag for the coming bull cycle. But it might not. You know, Phantom could do exactly what I was talking about Solana doing. You know, maybe it does a lower high and it just goes into the abyss. It's really hard for the majority of coins to remain relevant through multiple cycles. They really don't. So, but contrary to my beliefs, man, the charts are telling me that Solana is the big bad boss here. And I mean, that makes sense, right? It's got a very high market cap. It's a high ranking coin. A lot of people like it. It's got a decent community and a lot of volume, not going to lie. Good looking chart. Best looking chart out of all of them. So that's all I got for you guys. If you liked the video, it was a little bit longer than usual, but if you liked the video, leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to see more. I appreciate all of you so much. I hope you enjoyed this Shitcoin Showdown, and I will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.